If Tron, Jurassic Park, and Pacific Rim had a baby, it's Godzilla versus Kong. Right, it's been out for a couple of days now. The critics have all said things about it. The people have said things about it, and we're about to discuss those said things. I'm literally half an hour after finishing it, and it was okay, quite surprisingly for me, but that's about as much as I can give it. So it's a high for me, Chris. With hi, Nathan, and hi, Mark.
Hello.
Right, let's get this one over and done with, because I think that's what I was thinking at the end of the film. So that's obviously why that's in my brain. What did you think, Nathan?
Right. By no stretch of imagination is this a good film. Is it an enjoyable film? Yes. There's big monsters who literally punch each other in the face. They hate each other. They then team up and fight a giant fucking robot, what's controlled by a guy who's plugged into his brain, but then that breaks, so the robot does it by himself. I mean, what more do you want from a sci-fi monster film? Maybe some good acting would be good, and maybe
just a bit of writing. Maybe just a bit of writing.
It's literally, it looks like the bit at the end when they're all fighting looks like a Godzilla cartoon from 1950s. The Japanese ones used to watch Godzilla films. It looks like that, and there's nothing wrong with that as far as I'm concerned. I loved it. I like good films. I also like shit films, and this was definitely a shit film, but I thought it was awesome.
Okay, Mark, what about yourself? What do you think?
Yeah, I feel that I'm responsible for this group of people watching this film, because I was about 20 odd minutes in, and I text going, "Hey guys, this is a lot better than expected." And I would say about another 20 minutes after that, it shits the bed. Completely destroys the bed with the shit. But then there is so much shit in the bed that, as Nathan says, it becomes a good shit movie. And that end scene where you finally get the payoff of Godzilla and Kong and then Mecha Godzilla, it makes it all worth it if you can ignore that half an hour in the middle where it becomes Avatar meets Tron, meets Blade Runner, meets just any sci-fi movie ever just crammed down your throat. I'm just going to ruin a scene at the moment. Spoiler alert from here on in. There is a scene with flying cars, and that was the most unbelievable bit of the whole fucking movie. You've got Godzilla, King Kong, and a mech robot, and the flying car is the least believable. How did we get from that Godzilla in 2014 by Gareth Edwards, where it was super realistic and gritty and nitty, and then all of a sudden we've got terrible CGI cars plummeting to the center of the earth? Like, what the fuck happened to that franchise?
Yeah, this is one of the things that I actually want to discuss, is like, how does a franchise, so you started off with Gareth Edwards, who's a fantastic director, with shots like this one, and this one, and this one, are stunning, so very cinematic. So you've got all of these amazing, fantastic shots and something like Gareth Edwards, and then like Mark just said, you end up with just absolute fucking CGI carnage of just things flying everywhere.
At one point, my partner genuinely said, "Oh my God, this is Spy Kids 3D level of shit CGI." And she wasn't wrong. It was genuinely so bad at that point. And I get why it was bad at that point, because that point was not either of the two giant fights between the two protagonists. It was just a random bit of crap filler that really didn't have to be there. Like, did we need the center of the earth nonsense? Did we? No.
Yeah. You have to get his big axe.
I really hoped he just got his big axe by ripping one of Godzilla's spine.
He finally became King Kong because he was sat on his throne as well. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I get all that, yeah, but like, we're watching a Godzilla movie and we had to get.
It was that air. See
If the Flat Earth Society made a movie, this would be fucking it. You know what I mean? It's like, except it's Hollow Earth. So
Godzilla shot flames through his mouth and bored through the earth. What's wrong with that?
No. That bit was cool. But see,
and then Godzilla and King Kong climbed up and fought the fuck out of him. Come on, man. You're not gonna dissuade me from this. I was lying in bed watching this on my laptop last night, and I was cheating on. I was cheating it.
Yeah.
And we talked about also what the hell happened from the original Godzilla and Skull Island, Skull Island. That was what the Kong movie was called, right? Yeah. That was like a beautiful Vietnam-esque war movie with these dusky shots, gritty filmography, really good actors, Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, and Michael. I literally just forgot.
C. Riley,
John Goodman.
Doesn't it also have Thingy Bob Samuel L. Jackson as well?
Samuel Jackson's the captain.
And it's incredibly well acted, written, and scripted. And again, they've gone from two really well-grounded movies and done a Whedon Justice League on the whole franchise with this end. You know, it's all singing this, and I love it as a shit movie. But in contrast to those two original movies, how did you get from that to this? Is all I'm asking.
Yeah, it felt more like God's. What's it called? God of Monsters. It felt more like that than it did the other two films. I would agree with that.
Yeah. So I've done over the past 2 nights. I've done last night and today. I did. What was the first one called? Just Godzilla, isn't it? The first one. It's just Godzilla. Yeah, Godzilla. I got Godzilla, King of Monsters, Skull Island, and then this one. So I managed to power through them. So they're all so fresh in my brain. And that's what it said. It's like the first one, especially Gareth Edwards one, is amazing. It's so stunning. And then Kong Skull Island is like you just said, it's a Vietnam-esque, pure war kind of looking. Like some of the shots in that, like I'll fling it again, some up, which I'll probably forget to edit or not put in. But I'll fling some of them up. And some of the shots in that was one where Kong is standing in the water and all the helicopters, and it's like Apocalypse Now. Where did that go? What was Michael Dougherty is the director of King of the Monsters, and he comes in, and the best he's directed is a film called Trick or Treat.
All right.
I mean, it's like that's what he's done. I was like, why go from like some fantastic direction to just somebody? Oh, let's just give him just budget saving.
I genuinely think it was Whedon versus Snyder in the sense of it very much feels like it was the gritty Nolan-esque take on Godzilla and King Kong, and then it was, oh my god, Marvel's making so much money, we need it to be lighter, funner, and see that one from Stranger Things, get her. You know, it really did seem like just making it kid friendly in the end rather than, and you know what, I'm okay with that because it's a very goofy, as I said to you guys, leave your brain outside, not even at the door, leave it outside, like, you know, in the garden somewhere, and you'll enjoy this movie. You know, you have to ignore all the science. The flying cars are so freaking out of place.
But the flying cars can also be a fucking shocking machine for a giant monkey. A
defibrillator?
Defibrillator for a giant monkey, come on.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd love to be in the script meeting when they came up with that idea. Somebody went, that's a banger, keep that one in.
Did anyone see Casino Royale? Mind how the Aston Martin could do that? Let's make the flying car do that.
It's not just a flying car, it's a flying car with like sparkly lights on the outside. So,
you know. Really, what it looks like, remember the Jetsons, and they used to have the fins, and it was the white circles with pulse over the fins. That is where they got their flying car technology from in Godzilla versus Kong. The Jetsons.
They sort of look like trainers as well, didn't they? The cars.
Yeah, they're like, it's like the Back to the Future trainers and Nike or
Godzilla.
Nike or Godzilla, yeah. I just didn't feel there was any need for any of the Tron-looking shite. It's like, we need to make this, we need to make it look as if our technologies came on a bit. What do we think? Tron? Yeah, let's make it look like Tron.
They explained why the cars needed to be like that, because it's to do with the reverse gravity thing.
Anti-gravity. That's okay. That's okay with the car, but what I didn't get is all the top secret facilities where they have all these monsters and all this personnel. They were all so terribly lit with just cool red lights or green lights or a a strip of white, and it's like, that is so dangerous. Someone is going to trip and sue. Like, that's why most office places just have downlighters. It's so that someone doesn't trip and sue. That company, Apex, must be completely against the employee compliance guidelines, completely. Also,
it must be so funny. Like, there's like people, like families getting into the HR department of Apex and Monarch going, yeah, I'd just like to sue for my family's death and my friend's death who died when Godzilla stamped on him. And then we fucking jack at the sides like that. It's like, well, I tripped over a wire because it was poorly lit, so I'd like us pay it.
Well, I thought that at the end of the film that Great Britain were probably quite glad that they handed back Hong Kong because there's none of it left.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was Man of Steel levels of destruction on Hong Kong. Like, just gone. And I totally get it. I was laughing so hard at that bit when, again, spoilers, when Godzilla turns to Kong and they kind of do their roar of approval to each other. And then Godzilla flicks his tail and just destroys another building. I actually had tears in my eyes.
Smash.
I just every time that like King Kong punched him in the face, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? It's like I was watching a UFC 344 or something. They got the monsters in.
Do you know, I would have actually been happy to skip 99% of that film and just watch that battle scene in Hong Kong.
Yeah,
it was incredible. All the neon lights all around the buildings and stuff like that. Oh, it was beautiful.
Can we also talk about that battle scene? Only lasts about 10 minutes, and it goes from being the middle of the night to quite clearly the sun is fully rised.
Yeah, that's
I have another problem as well. Apparently, Skull Island is always dark and raining. But it's just that this temporary thing they've put up for King Kong keeps it light. It's like they were there. It's always raining. Skull Island.
Yeah,
and not in the original film.
It never rained at all in the original film.
Yeah. But, no, not once. It was beautiful.
I text you guys saying I have a really fun fact.
I was going to say that to say before we finish.
We were sitting watching it, right? And there was a quite distinct shot of Kong, and you could see his crotch area, and we just both went, where is his penis? So I Googled the average gorilla size penis, okay? And the average gorilla size penis is only 3 centimeters well erect, right? Which is, first of all,
massive.
Wow. Yeah. Massive. But I scaled up to the known size of Godzilla, because there's scenes when Godzilla and King Kong are the same height in this, which is about 434 foot, which makes Kong's erect penis 201 centimeters, which is exactly my height.
So from now on, your nickname is Kong Dick.
Kong Dong.
Kong Dong.
Hey, Kong Dong. That's it.
What I love, Mark, is you've now got a YouTube alibi for looking up gorilla porn on your phone. Your girlfriend's like, "What have you got gorilla porn for?" Look, I told you, that's what it's for.
Yeah, we were on the Geekified page, and she's like, "Okay."
There's nothing to see with that, you know.
So I'm going to try, if I can, and make a wee going to edit together just you hanging from Kong just in the area, just so we can get the exact value of the size that it would be. Just a wee stand up of you hanging from his crotch area. Just see if I can get that up at some point.
I genuinely couldn't help myself when I saw that. I was like, oh, I need to tell the guys that is the best fact I've ever brought to Geekified.
Yeah, that is a good fact. That is a very good fact. So the kind of the last thing that we talk about is obviously there's a bit of bone of contention. I wouldn't say that there's anybody who's really a bad actor, because there was not really any script to act from. But Millie Bobby Brown on the news took a lot of kind of not abuse, but a lot of kind of saying that she was absolutely pointless in the film, and she seemed to get a lot of the attention from all the news stories that's happening, saying there's absolutely no need for her. So what do you think about that?
Her wee pal that tags along, the brilliant actor from Hunt for the Wilder People, he is completely pointless in the movie. He's not needed other than he provides a van in the first scene that we see him.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think what they mean, and it's nothing against Millie Bobby Brown, is that whole plot is just not needed to move the movie along. You know,
Yeah,
they're misguiding their anger at a boring subplot to just one of the actors in it, whereas everyone in that subplot is genuinely terrible.
Yeah, even like Kyle Chandler, her father in it. There was like, I know he was in obviously the previous Godzilla film, but he didn't bring anything to the story this time. He was just sort of a guy going, "Oh, where's my daughter?" on the phone, even though he obviously part of Monarch and all that sort of stuff. But I just sort of thought, well, there's no real point in having him in that, or other than to tie it to the first film.
Yeah.
Or the second film, as it were.
Yeah, you're right. That whole subplot is only to tie the two movies together, where the movie would have just done so much better without so much of that subplot.
Mm-hmm.
More Godzilla fighting things, more Kong fighting things. You know, it would have been a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So, and the last thing before we go, this is not the end of the MonsterVerse. I've said this. This is, the MonsterVerse will still continue. It looks like it's going to be. It looks like it's Godzilla versus Kong has been a massive success. It takes a bit longer to get the kind of viewing figures, but it's been a huge hit. So many people have paid for it.
Biggest pandemic film so far.
Yeah, so it looks like it's managed to really, really break the non-existent box office, as it were. So
I feel it was one of the only pandemic films that bothered to actually advertise. So many things have just come out and gone, oh, you can pay for us on VOD as of today. Whereas Kong versus Godzilla has been advertising for weeks, you know?
Yeah, they seemed a lot better with it.
So did Wonder Woman, and it didn't. I think it took 3 times the money of Wonder Woman, didn't it? Opening weekend or something like that.
Yeah, it was staggering. Wonder Woman was like, I believe, in the 64 to the 70 million, and Kong was 243 million.
Something like that, yeah.
Crazy difference.
Yeah,
I think Wonder Woman was really hurt by the reviews coming out too early, saying it was bad.
Yeah. But then this film didn't get hurt by that, so.
But it's a good point. You know what I mean? It's like, when does it come? Is it superhero kind of fatigue that's coming in, where people can't be bothered like having so much of it? Where you've got MonsterVerse, which can just be something that's extravagant.
Maybe this appeals more to the Asian market as well. So obviously Godzilla's a bit more.
Absolutely ruin Hong Kong in it. You know, just
no, but the story, like Godzilla's more entrenched, sort of Japan especially, you know, so maybe it's a bit more to do with that than anything else. But like I said, I loved it.
Yeah, it was just, it's very pointless popcorn movies, and you need that every once in a while, you know, you very much do.
Definitely, 100%. I couldn't agree more. It was an enjoyable, over the top watch. Definitely not there for the rating. So geekified out of 5, Nathan.
I'll give it. I don't know. It's difficult. How much I enjoyed it. I'm baking it on. Am I?
It's out of 5. You need to give every film out of 5. Or do you want? I can extend this and make it out of 10, because we've only done a couple of movies where we've done it properly geekified out of 5. So you can make it out of 10 if you want. If you want to scale bigger.
Right. The thing, I'm torn, because I like a really good film. This is not a really good film, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm really on customer enjoyment. I would give it a 9 out of 10. In quality of movie, I would give it a 4 out of 10. So 7. 7
7
out of 10. Mark, what do you think? Out of 10, geekified out of 10.
Out of 10, I'm going to give it 6 out of 10, because it's a good shit movie, but it has to be down near the level of shit or mediocre, you know, because you can't give things like David Lynch a 10 out of 10, then put Godzilla versus Kong near it. It just doesn't work that way.
I'm going to go for slap bang in the middle. I'm going for a 5, because I don't think all the values that you get from an amazing film balanced with all the shit that was in it, it sits perfectly in the middle for me, I think. So there you go. It's Godzilla versus Kong. If you haven't watched it, it's on video on demand. It is an absolute massive, probably summer blockbuster, you would call it. It really deserved to be in the cinema. I would have absolutely loved to see the scale of that kind of stuff in the cinema. And if it does possibly come out, I might make a trip back again. But thank you very much, Nathan.
Cheers.
And thank you very much, Mark.
Thanks for having me.
We can do this all day.